welcome back. This episode finally we get to do the clutch. So I've got the clutch, the old clutch on the bench. That's the new clutch. First thing I need to do is actually get the clutch basket out of the bike, give that a quick clean up. Then we can start assembling, well, disassemble this old one, give it a wipe down, and then I can start basically putting it back together into the basket and then slide the whole lot back into the bike. So let's get the clutch basket out. Alright, I've already loosened it off slightly already, so it is just slide it out. Basically all I did was leave it very gently and then wiggle to basically get it off this spline. A needle roller bearing in there. So we're going to give this a clean up and then start reassembling the clutch. Right, so just giving it a wipe round. Right, so I've taken out the middle, giving that a quick wipe round. Right, that's obviously the old plates. Right, put them to one side. Alright, so this is the new kit. New heavy duty springs. Right, and the new steels. New one, old one. So you can see the difference. Right, so in this kit you'll find 8 plates, two different plates. If you can see there, they've got a notch in 4 places, same as this one. Means that basically one of these goes at the back, the other one goes at the front. So it's basically alternate all the way through. a different one on the outside. Turn that over and just slide them through. Right, one thing you have to remember when putting this clutch back together, there's an arrow, if you can see that, in the outer casting. And there's also, there we go, there's an arrow in the back casting. Those have to line up so the clutch will actually go together properly. If you have a look at the other holes, there's no markings, no line-ups. There we go. So you have to make sure those two line up, else it won't engage, it won't go back together properly. All that's left to do now is slide them into the basket, obviously remembering the spacer. Just have to level these up and line them up. And then slide the basket back on. Right, there we go. All back in its basket. Alright, when putting this back in, if you can see, there's 4 round notches that sit on this wheel that marry up with basically these 4 notches on the back of the basket. They've got to line up perfectly and slot in to them 4 holes. Also, I noticed it was quite tight to actually get the basket back in, so when you put the basket on and locate it, you need to actually grab it and twist it, because up in the top corner there are 2 big cogs. So when you actually locate it onto the 4 pins that are on the back, twist it slightly, it locates into the cog, and then you can push it back and push it back in. So the new lock nut's on and the washer's behind it. So I need to tighten that, lock the back wheel up again, put it back in gear, lock the back wheel and put the bungee cord around on the back brake, and then tighten this in. If you can see, I'll zoom you in a minute. Right, there you'll see a notch. That's the bit you need to notch it back into. So this rim round here, just tap it in gently with a screwdriver, so when it's tight, right, you can see the notch on the spine, on the shaft there. So when that nut's tight, that's the one I'll tap back in gently, so it just bends the edge of this rim into that little groove. So next thing I'm going to do, get this nut tightened up, and then I can start putting the springs back in. Alright, so that's back in. I've just gently tapped with a screwdriver, hammer, just gently tap that ridge in to that lip. So now it's time to put the springs back in. And then basically retighten in a star pattern. There we go, back in. I've already cleaned the surface, so all that's left to do now is put the clutch cover gasket on, slide the clutch cover back on, and that'll be just about it for this episode. Right, cover's back on. As you remember from when I took it apart, I put everything in the cards. I've given them a clean up, so literally they're in the correct order. So all that's left to do now is just do them up and it's done. Right, so thanks for joining me on that one. As I say, that's basically the clutch slave cylinder being basically stripped and rebuilt, and then the new clutch put back in, and that's all attached. So next jobs on the list is, I decided that as I've got most of it apart and I'm replacing, well, practically all of it, I'm going to replace the brake hose, and I'm also going to strip down the clutch master cylinder and replace them parts as well. So literally from top to bottom everything will be new. So that's in the next episode. So thanks for watching. Cheers. Bye.